Welcome back, folks. Laser Focus Solutions here. Chris Godwin coming at you with another quick tip. So I was asked to hang about 21 pictures, and there was about 10 of them that were consistent in regards to their size. So I was trying to figure out the most efficient way and the most accurate way, because these were the pictures they were about 13 inches wide, and they had the two prongs at the top where you needed to put the nails in the wall. And they obviously need to be level because there's no play, right? So spacing was an issue. There's a lot of variables. She wanted three on one wall. She wanted two on another wall. And I just wanted to make sure that I was efficient with this one. So I forgot to bring my 2 foot level. So all I had in my trailer was my 4 foot level and my little torpedo level. So what I did was I made a jig up. Okay. And all I did was went out and got a little piece of trim board and I laid it down on the ground. And then I took that trim board and laid it next or on top of the picture, above the picture. And with a pencil line, I marked the two little notches to the left and two little notches to the right. And then basically the end of the board was the end of the picture. So from there, what I was able to do was I was able to lay the board against the wall, torpedo level on top. And then I knew as long as I had my starting point of my vertical, I knew that then I could lay the board up against it with the height that I wanted, up and butt it up against the marking on the wall. And then from there, I knew where I needed to put my 2 points for marking. So it worked out extremely well. It worked out in fact, actually, I used that jig for different pictures that she even had. I continued that same thing. Typically, what I would do is I would find center, then I would measure over to the left, mark, and then measure over to the right, mark, and then I would double check myself and all that. This eliminated all that tape measure time. And it was just as simple as me understanding where my heights were, right? Where my center of the picture was going to be. And then from there, I even on that jig marked center. So that way, if I didn't want to go all the way to the left or the right, if I didn't know it. Where I used the left marking was when I knew I wanted 2 inches spacing between or 3 inches spacing between. I would simply butt the trim board up against the closest picture. And then from there, I'd already have a 2 inch mark, made. And that would tell me where the end of it was. And then from there, I'd have my markings for the jig. So just a huge benefit. Just wanted to share, I'll get better with these videos in regards to real live in time. But these are just little things that I've continued to just evolve with. I did pictures the other day, actually, at a client's house, and she had a collage, and there was about, I don't know, there were about 5 rows, 5 pictures, and then it was the next row, and then it was the next row, and there was, a total of like 20 some pictures. And I actually brought in on my laser level and I clamped it to a paint pole and stuck it, against the ladder and let that laser level tell me where I needed to be. So that one, oddly enough, that spent more time tweaking and measuring and adjusting that laser level than it did with this jig. This jig was just spot on every time. It worked great for this application. I got thinking about my grandfather. He used to restore Model A's, and a lot of his tools, he used to say, I make my tools because if I don't have Henry Ford, making a supply down at the hardware store to go buy these tools, I got to make them. So he had a lot of jigs and a lot of different things made up to work on these cars. And I find myself doing the same thing. So I just wanted to share, if you're a customer or a client or even in a home repair space and doing this for a living, just sometimes you got to think out of the box, and in this case, just going out and getting a piece of trim board out of my truck and marking it out with a pencil. It really did save a lot of time for me pulling the tape measure out every single time, trying to find the exact marks and my level, am I consistent with my pattern in regards to spacing, all those things. So it worked out really well. Again, I actually, like I said, some cases, once I figured out I'm up against, then I knew I got my 2 inches. I'd mark on the wall the two marks. Then I would set that on top of the picture next to it with a level. and then I would get that it kind of made me a little bit of an X for my marking, to where every single time I was spot on. And I just literally grabbed that jig and a pencil. I didn't need to get my tape measure and all the other things that I would normally be doing. Like I said, cross-referencing and back checking, and is it an eighth or a 16th, or where's it going to be? So worked out really well. Just wanted to share this one. This is a quick video. I'm going to go ahead and end it, and appreciate everything. We're growing this channel little by little. I know this is in it for the long game, right? This is something that we're going to continue to build on. We got an audience that doesn't even know about us yet, but they'll find out. They'll know who we are. They'll know what we're doing, and we're going to continue to share these videos and help out whenever we can. So with that, I'm going to end. Peace out.